today we are doing mission 3a, which is writing or solving equations with variables on both sides. So this is where our third step comes into place, move the variable to one side. So we still have our line down at the equal sign. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we're going to start with our steps. First, distributing. We don't have any parentheses, so we're all done with that one. Then combine like terms. We can only combine our a's if they're on the same side of the equal sign. Remember, the symbol goes with the number after, so that negative goes with a 3. So we're going to combine these two together, but we cannot include that one, the 4a, because it's on the other side. So if we combine these, 5a plus 2a is 7a, and then I'm going to rewrite the rest. Minus 3 equals 4a plus 9. Now, we need to get our letter on the left. It really doesn't matter which side you move your variable to, one side or the other. Generally, I like to move it onto the left side so it's easy to read. I also like to move the smaller number. So I'm going to move this 4a over to the other side, and this is where people get confused. Because normally, if we move the 4, we would divide by 4, but we're moving the whole thing, and the whole thing is positive, so to move that entire term, we need to do the opposite of a positive 4a, which is negative 4a. Subtract 4a on both sides. So 4 apples are gone from here, and 4 from here. 7 minus 4 is 3a. And then copy the rest. Minus 3 equal to 9. If we would have moved the 7a to the other side, we would still get the same answer in the end. Okay? Now, we're going to get rid of our adding and subtracting. So I'm going to get rid of whatever's on the same side as the a. We're going to get rid of this minus 3 and add 3. Because our goal is to get that a all by itself now. So we have 3a equal to 9 plus 3 is 12. Now the opposite of multiplying is divide. We can divide by 3. Those eliminate. And we get a equal to 4. So there's our answer. Again, there are other ways we could solve this. If we would have moved the 7a over to this side right away, you'll still get the same answer in the end. The a would just be on the other side here. Let's try a couple more. For both of these, we have parentheses. So our first step is to distribute. So I'm going to draw my line down. We're going to distribute on both sides. 6 multiplied by 7 and negative 2p. Then on the other side we have 3 multiplied by 5p and negative 4. So we're going to distribute on both sides, multiply. Because that's touching, it means multiply. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, and there's a p. So we have 42 minus 12p. Then 3 times 5 is 15, and there's a p there. 3 times 4 is negative 12. Again, we multiplied 3 times 5 and 3 times negative 4. Don't forget that negative. And when we write just what's in the box. We're done multiplying those numbers. Now, we've distributed. Combine like terms. We don't have any terms on the same side, like just this side or just this side, that we can combine together. So next, we need to move the variable or the letter to one side. Again, it doesn't really matter which side you move to. I always like to move the smaller number, if possible, or get the letter on the left, either way. I'm going to move the negative 12p instead of the, instead of the positive 15p. That way we keep all of our p's positive. So I'm going to add 12p to both sides. So I'm moving them away from this side, and now we have 27p on the right. And copy what we have left. We have 42 and a negative 12. Now this is just a two-step equation. We're going to get rid of adding and subtracting first. We want to get rid of this negative 12, so I'm going to add 12. Remember, our goal is to get p by itself. So 2 plus 2 is 4, so that's 54. Equal to 27p. And then the opposite of multiply by 27 is divide by 27. So we get p equal to And this one you might not know, it's really just 2. You can type 54 divided by 27 into your calculator. Alright, same thing on this next one. We have parentheses on both sides we need to distribute. If you don't want to draw the box to multiply, you can just multiply 5 times n and get 5n. But be careful, 5 times 3, this is really a negative 3, is a negative 15. And same thing over here, 8 is multiplied by both. 8 times n is 8n. 8 times positive 6, 6 times 8 is 48. So just like the last one, we don't have any like terms to combine, but we need to move all of our n's to the same side. I'm going to move whichever one's smaller to keep our numbers positive. So I'm going to move the 5n. So I'm going to subtract 5n, because this whole thing is positive, we do the opposite. Subtract 5n. Those go away, and we have negative 15. 8 minus 5 is 3n. That's what I mean by having a positive number. If we move the 8, we'd end up with negative 3n on the other side. You still get the same answer in the end, though. So now get rid of adding and subtracting on the same side as the n. So I'm going to get rid of this 48, subtract 48. Those eliminate. And same sign, add and keep. 8 plus 5 is 13. 4, 5, 6, 63. They're all negatives, negative 63. And then the opposite of multiply is divide. So I know this answer is going to be negative. If you don't know what 63 divided by 3 is, you can use a calculator. I know 3 goes into 3 one time, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. Our answer is really going to be 21. All right, let's flip over to the back side. Solve the equation. No hints on this one. So we can look at this list if we need again. Distribute and then combine like terms. We don't have any distributing, but we can combine like terms that are on the same side. This negative goes with the 3. So 8b minus 3 gives us 5b. And copy the rest. We have b's on both sides. So we need to move them to one side. I'm going to move the smaller one. I'm going to subtract 2b. Those eliminate. And 5 minus 2 is 3b plus 11 equal to 2. And then subtract 11 here. To get rid of that adding and subtracting, we have 3b equal to, okay, different signs, subtract. It's going to be more negatives. 11 minus 2 is 9. Should be a negative 9. And the opposite of multiply is divide. Divide by 3. 3 goes into 9 3 times, and it's negative. That one's a little bit easier without the distributing, I think anyways. All right, let's try the next one. So if we distribute first on this side, 3 times m is 3m. 3 times 8 is 24, but there's a negative, so it's a negative 24. So normally, I would want to move the smaller of the m's, the negative one, but there would be nothing left on this side. If you do that and add 5m, that's okay. You would write 0 equals and then continue going. I'm going to do it the opposite way, just to make our equation a little bit shorter. Oops. So I'm going to subtract 3m, because this is positive. Do the opposite and subtract 3m. You'll still get the same answer either way. These are all negatives, so we now have negative 8m equal to negative 24. And then the opposite of multiplying is divide by negative 8. So we have m equal to 2 negatives make a positive 3. Now if you solved this the other way, I'm just going to copy it. Negative 5m equal to 3m minus 24. This is the same equation. I'm just going to solve it a different way. If I added 5m, I would have had to write 0 equals 8m minus 24. Then get rid of that 24 by adding 24. And we'd have 8m equal to 24, just more steps. And then divide by 8, and we would have m equal to 3. We still get the same answer either way. Here and here, we get the same answer. All right, let's try this next one out. This is the same type of situation where we have y's on both sides. There's no distributing, no combining like terms, but we need all the y's on the same side. If we move the negatives, we'll have 0 there. I'm going to move so that we don't have 0 on one side. It's going to be more steps. So I'm going to subtract 15y. So we have negative 138. It's a big number. And 15 plus 8 more. Remember, same sign, add and keep. They're all going to be negatives. Should give us negative 23y. And I need to use my calculator on this one, because I don't know what the answer is going to be. If I divide by negative 23, those eliminate. Two negatives are going to make a positive, but 138 divided by 23 is going to give us 6. Not one of your basic facts that you would know. All right, last one I would like for you to try on your own, and then click play to see if you got it right. There's no distributing, but we can combine our like terms. This is a negative 5x. 2 minus 5 is negative 3x. And now we need to get our x's on the same side. I'm going to move this one over to the other side because it's negative. Oops, that is not. This negative goes with the 4. Okay? So we're moving this negative 3x. I'm going to add 3x. These ones eliminate, but these are both positive, so this is really 6x minus 4 equal to 8. Now get rid of adding and subtracting. Add 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. And then the opposite of multiply is divide. X equals 2.